So I've been thinking about what my man's re-election is going to mean for global events. Whatever happens in the White House, unfortunately, affects all of us in the world. So I've just been thinking what Trump's election would mean for global events. The war in Gaza, the war in Ukraine, global oil prices, inflation, BRICS. I am not an expert, hence the name of the channel, Average. I'm just speculating. So let's start with the war in Gaza. I do not think things are going to change much over there because the Israelis have a mind of their own. They're doing their own thing. I think they're still going to get the support that they are currently getting from the US. I don't think Trump would necessarily. Maybe what he would do is that it will encourage the war to come to an end, but he's not going to really affect much. Perhaps his new Israeli ambassador doesn't seem like the one that would try to tell the Israelis what to do, and the Israelis will not even listen anyways. They will do what they want to do. Maybe they could convince Hamas to surrender the hostages, and then that would cause the war to change a bit. If they can convince Hamas or the other groups that are fighting, I don't know if they are fighting because they are almost defeated, but if they can convince them to release the hostages alive or dead, then I think maybe that's what could affect the war. But I don't think Trump directly would just get inaugurated and the next day the war is over. No. Secondly, Russia, Ukraine. Now this is where the US would have much more impact. Now it could go two ways, in my opinion. Trump would tell Zelensky that okay, this war is an unwinnable war for you because what your goals are, which is getting back the Donbass, getting back Crimea, is not possible. So take the current losses you have, declare a stalemate, let there be some level of peace, maybe along the border deploy European troops. So where the current battle lines are is going to stop there. Ukraine will take on some losses, and then there's some kind of stalemate. Putin cannot really lose. That's just the truth. Many people are criticizing Trump already that it means the death of Ukraine. We have to support, but really Putin cannot lose. You have to give him a deal that makes him looks good in his people's eye, and that would mean the Luhansk region, the Donetsk region, will still remain in Russian control. Then maybe they deploy some type of peacekeeping European troop at the border. The second way, if they want to go with the way of fight of the current war, what he could do is tell Putin that okay, we need to stop this war. If Putin says no, we're not stopping, we're going to continue, then says okay, I'm going to give Ukraine more powerful weapons, more sophisticated weapons. I'm going to allow them use our F-16s, F-22s, F-35s, and it's going to make this war a lot more difficult for you. If Putin refuses, he gives Ukraine the weapons. Ukraine causes massive damage in Russia. He goes to Putin again and says, bruv, stop this war. If not, we're going to just give Ukraine better weapons and we're going to allow them use the weapons we're giving them. Yeah, that's what I think will happen. But I think it's very important that war comes to an end because Ukraine produces a lot of grains and it's affecting just global food prices, inflation everywhere, even in Africa. It's inadvertently making us, even though we are not supposed to be affected by the war, but it's making us. It's also affecting us because of the grain issues and the rest. 3. The Houthis. Since the Gaza war began, the Houthis have been a pain in the butt. They have been disrupting shipping lines. They are like the Horn of Africa. Yes, they're the opposite side, and they have been attacking ships that American ships and Israeli ships, or ships that they feel like are not from countries that support the Palestinian cause and all that. So with those people, I think America would just go apeshit on them, bomb the hell out of them, since they are a more weaker power. Just bomb them and just just use one day, just take one day and just bomb their capabilities, their missiles and all that. Then now with Iran. Trump can offer them some concessions. We'll give you this if you stop doing this. It's just like, it didn't work before, because the whole thing was, okay, we'll allow you more of your seized funds if you stop your nuclear program. And Biden gave them a lot of money for them to stop their nuclear program. And the allegation is that it's that money that they use to sponsor Hamas and Hezbollah and all these other conflicts. So I don't know. I can't really say what Trump's gonna do with Iran, but I guess peace through strength. I mean, what he most likely is. Maybe he will use Israel as a threat. Okay, Iran, if you don't do this, we're just going to unleash Israel on you. We're just going to allow the Israelis do whatever they want, bomb whatever they want. Finally, BRICS. BRICS is this economic partnership with the initial partners being Brazil, Russia. That's B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South Africa. BRICS. So the whole group, the whole group chat came about because like right now, global trade is running in dollars. So if somebody from Ghana, for example, or I want to buy wrappers from somebody from Ghana, right? Kente cloth or whatever, because I can't buy their jollof. It sucks. I heard it's strong. I heard it doesn't cook well. It's like raw. But anyways, you want to buy that Kente cloth because that's what they do best. That's the only thing they do best. They don't do any other. It's just Kente cloth. But if I want to buy that, okay, they have. But if I want to buy that Kente cloth, I'd have to look for dollars. Right, I have to find a way to get dollars and find a way to transport and send the dollars and whatever before I get my Kente cloth. And same thing with them. If they want to buy stuff from me, in like Nigeria, we have much more stuff than them. They don't want to buy our recipe for jollof. The same thing, they'll have to look for dollars. Even though we are not too far from each other, we can just deal with each other somehow. So the same way globally, want to buy something from China, they want to buy goods from them, they want to buy oil from us. Everybody has to transact in dollars, and it's restrictive. And this way is restrictive. If the dollar is experiencing a 1% inflation, for example, many a times every other country would experience much more. Again, I am not an economist. I am just speculating. I don't have any expert knowledge on this. If you have expert knowledge on this, you correct me. But say we say the dollar is experiencing 1% inflation, every other person experiences like say 10%, 15%, 20%. So BRICS is like, okay, why do we need to? If as Nigeria, China is my largest trading partner, why can't you just trade with China in yuan, or the Chinese trade with Nigeria in naira? If I'm buying oil from Russia, why can't I just buy it in the ruble? Why do I need to go to America, get their dollars then, right? So how is it going to affect BRICS now? If it becomes easier to transact with the dollars, obviously the movers and shakers in BRICS are Russia and China. So if they can pressure the other members in the group to abandon the dollars because of their own geopolitical things, then the countries that are currently signed up to it, I think Nigeria was recently just added to the group. China would essentially just be calling the shots, right? It's more like changing slave masters. It's more like changing masters from the dollar to the yuan. And if BRICS is going to just be a changing master group, I don't think African countries should join. I think we should just continue with the dollar. But if it's going to be a system where I'm trading with this country, we can trade with our currencies, I'm trading with China, okay, fine, I'm totally down for that. Let us de-dollarize, abandon dollar. But if it's going to be another changing from this group to that, so how is Trump going to affect it if the dollar becomes stronger? If he's able to make the American economy become stronger, then the BRICS will just be a threat. It will not materialize. Yeah, to just be a threat. So I don't really know how it's going to affect BRICS in that sense. But if the dollar gets better, if it's able to return inflation to the 1 point something percent, 3.9%, then yeah, I don't think BRICS would materialize. It's just be another group. We are going to do this. We are going to do this. And if Russia and China fight or have bickering, then it would not really materialize. And if Saudi Arabia decides to just continue trading their oil in dollars, nothing's going to change with BRICS. It's just going to be another group that's just there to be anti-American. We are fighting imperialism, but nothing's going to change. Finally, oil prices. Now this is where I think is going to affect say Nigeria, because we are an oil producing country. 80% of our economy is based on oil. Trump has promised to drill, baby, drill. What that means is that the largest consumer of oil, the US, will no longer need to buy oil as much. Not that they wouldn't buy oil, but they'll be able to fulfill a lot of their own local demand. And that may mean oil prices may drop. So I think now is at $70 something per barrel. If America is not consuming much global oil and they are consuming their oil, the price of oil may drop, and that would affect the economies of many other people. So it's why it's especially for those other countries that are dependent on oil, except if I am not understanding the economics of oil, right? Because when the demand is high, obviously the people that are producing it, like the OPEC countries, can decide to inflate their price or reduce their production to artificially boost the price so that they get more money. But if America that consumes so much oil is no longer demanding it as much, right, and the only other country demanding it is China, then I don't think oil prices would go past what they are now, and I think they would only go down. So yeah, that's what I think. And as for crypto, obviously crypto is balling. I think BTC is about to hit 100k and maybe keep on going. Yeah, that's how I think it's going to affect us. So if you are watching this, you can say, okay, how does this now affect me? How does it affect me where I am? Yeah, those are my 2 cents. Like and subscribe, okay? I'll keep giving you the the uneducated thoughts of an average guy. Peace.